Hey guys, how's it going? So, man, I'm in a crappy situation right now with my car. This thing is not turning over, and I am kind of upset about it, obviously. Frustrated. I've tried to turn it on like 15 times already, and it's doing nothing. It's not turning over. I'm now trying to just diagnose this problem, and I think I know what it is. It's not the first time I've had this issue with this car, but the other issues that I've had with this car similar to this was maybe like I've had this issue a couple of times where I try to start it, it won't crank over, it won't turn over, the motor won't start, but everything works. And in this situation, everything works in this situation right now, except for the motor won't turn over, it won't start. But this situation I had like 3 months ago, and I've had it a couple of times since. Most of the time it's like it's in the morning, I get into my car, I try to crank it, I try to turn it on, everything will come on as usual, the lights on the dash, and nothing. I hear nothing, and I keep on thinking it's the battery, but after a couple of tries it does start up. All right, and it's gone. I wouldn't say it's gone progressively worse the other times that I've had this situation, but it's always started up for me without a problem. It's just this time, I've tried to start it 15 times, 20 times, and nothing seems to work. Now, I have heard that it could be the brake switch. I have heard that could be the brake switch. I don't think it's the brake switch. I do not think it's the brake switch. I mean, I'm not 100% sure on it, but I don't think it's the brake switch. But I know one thing. Everything seems to work, and I'm hearing a click. I'm hearing one click when I try to turn it on. I'm hearing one click. It's like click, click, one click when I try to turn it on. And I have a suspicion. I know what it is. And I'm probably going to have to get this car towed. So basically, here's what I've got. Here's what I think so far. The alternator, I don't think it's the alternator. I'm pretty sure, 100% sure it's not the alternator. In fact, I know it's not the alternator. Reason being is that this car did not die while the car was turned on. I mean, it didn't die while the motor was on. It didn't die while this car was turned on. Because I haven't been able to crank it up or crank it over. It hasn't cranked at all, actually. So this car is... it could be the battery being dead, but I had this car jumped maybe like 20 minutes ago. Some guy helped me jump it, and this car not turn over at all. Normally, if it's a bad alternator and the battery's dead, most of the time it'll die on you on the road while the car's running. Car wasn't running, but once you put cables to it, this car should at least have a slow crank or start up. And it would die out after you take the cables off. That would be the situation if the alternator was the issue. Unfortunately, I didn't hear a slow crank. It doesn't start up. I didn't hear a slow crank. It doesn't start up. It does nothing but the same thing. All right, and I thought it was the battery before I went out and checked on the lights. Headlights are good. I mean, it's kind of sunny out. Headlights are good. The radio is blaring when it's turned on. The blower motor works. The AC doesn't work. Obviously, because this car is not on for the compressor to run, unfortunately. So I've ruled out the alternator. I've ruled out the battery, because if it was the battery, once you put cables to it, it should turn the car on. And then once you take the cables off, the car should keep on running. And obviously, at that point, it's probably the battery that doesn't have enough juice to crank it over. All right, so not the case here. Not the battery. Not the battery. Not the alternator. So, I mean, other things that's going through my mind right now, it could be a fuse or a relay. So here's the reason why I don't think it's the relay. It's probably not the relay because, I mean, I'm able to hear a click. Once I'm able to hear a click, I'm pretty sure that there's juice going to the starter. There's juice going to the starter. So when it's juice going through the starter, and it's not working, it's probably the starter that's the issue, and not the relay. Because if it was a relay, you wouldn't hear a click at all. You would hear nothing. I mean, it's a faint click, but you still hear a click. So basically, it's not the relay. Could be the fuse. I don't think it's the fuse, because I've had situations where a fuse was blown, and that situation was here's the thing with fuses, as far as your car not starting. So fuses, here it does. Okay, if you have a dead fuse, most of the time, if it's a main dead fuse, none of your things, nothing works. Nothing works on the dash. No lights on the dash, no radio, nothing. It's as if you took the cable off the battery and you get no juice at all going through the whole entire car. But that's not the case here, because I am getting juice for everything else but the starter motor. Okay, so I don't think it's the fuse. The other case of fuse going out is if there's a fuse that goes out as far as affecting the car starting. A lot of times you should be able to crank the car over. But it won't stay on. But that could be a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons is caused by a blown fuse. I'm not quite sure exactly what that fuse is, but it's a blown fuse. This situation's not that case, because I can't crank it at all. There's no crank. I can't crank it up. There's nothing. Okay, all the lights are on. The blow motor's on. Everything works, but I can't crank it. So here's the thing. I haven't changed the starter on this car at all. So I'm gonna have to say at this point, after reasoning all those things, diagnosing as far as all those things that could cause it, I don't think at this point it's anything else but the starter. I mean, I'm like 99% sure that the starter is the issue, and I would probably have to change it out. I'm not quite sure. I'm pretty sure the starter on this car is the original starter. I didn't buy this car new. I bought it used about a year and a half ago. I'm pretty sure the starter is a used starter, and I'm gonna have to go to AutoZone to get a starter. Probably gonna be a rebuilt starter. But the other thing I could do at this point is probably to bump the starter and see if that actually free it up. I don't know. I guess doing that, if you guys don't know, if you guys should probably watch videos on it. If you guys have a long crowbar or whatever, you could actually take it and just hit the starter a couple of times. Maybe the components are rusty or whatever. It should, if it was this starter, sometimes it'll have like 1 or 2 cranks left. But I don't think this is the situation with me at this point, because it was, if I had to think about it, it probably was going out the last 3 months that I've experienced something like this. It probably was going out on its way out, and at this point it's probably like completely dead, and I probably won't be able to do it. But then again, I don't have a long crowbar at this point. I'm not going to be able to do it, and I would have to find where the starter is and do that. I don't know where the starter is on this car, so I'm not quite sure. But I'm probably not gonna do that to test that out. I mean, I could probably take a wire and connect it to I guess the solenoid, or maybe the starter connected wherever that thing is. Probably like that little terminal on the starter itself. But you gotta watch the video for that. I'm not quite sure, but at this point, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to assume that it's a starter that's dead. I'm going to have to get a car. I'm going to have to call AAA and tow my car. It's going to take me a couple hours, and this is a headache for me. It's a pain in the butt. But I'm going to keep you guys updated, all right, guys? Hey, guys, what's up? So, yep. It did turn out to be the starter, as I thought, unfortunately. I got it towed. And I didn't do any of the other testing, but I mean, out of all the things that I thought about, I was 99% sure it was a starter. like close to 100% sure it's a starter. So I went out, got a starter, put it in. This whole entire thing is costing me time, it's costing me money, but starters do go out on you. I did get a rebuilt starter because a brand new starter AutoZone was around $300, like close to there. And this starter was like it was like 140 or whatever, 150. Actually, it was like 180 something minus the 30 or 40 for when you turn the core. But whatever, you know, at this point, the car works. I'm fine with it. It is the starter that was causing it, pain in the butt. But if you guys like this video, please subscribe to my channel. Please give me a thumbs up, and you know, leave some comments, guys. All right, thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever the reaction is. And you know, please subscribe, guys. All right. Leave a comment, subscribe. All right, guys, take care.